Wow.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah. You must be listening loud.
Well, I mean, you the one controlling the mixing board.
You got a volume on your headphone amp.
I don't know what that is.
It's a little box
It's
in
that
front
little
of you.
box by your foot.
Oh, I don't
Where
know.
all them
I don't know
damn
what that
cables
is.
that you were bitching about were.
I don't know what that is. No, I was looking at the cables up in front of me. Like, I mean,
exactly.
like in front of the camera. I ain't near about them cables right here. But no, I mean, I'm all good. I like listening to myself. You know, fuck all the rest of you. I like listening to myself. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I just talk to myself.
Do you really think you can get Melissa to sit through 2 hours of this?
No,
I didn't think so.
no, there ain't a fucking chance.
You have to make several
Not a
reels.
fucking chance.
How far do you think she will get listening to this?
As soon as I start talking, she's going to say, this motherfucker's full of shit, and she's going to cut it off. That's all she's going to do. Maybe 5 minutes worth, and then she's going to understand my tone because now we're married, and she knows my tone when I have been drinking, and then that's going to be it. That's going to be it.
Are you getting some tonight?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. I mean, like, I'm going to tell you, like, my wife, she flew in from Charlotte this morning, and I picked her up at the airport, and I took her straight to work. And she's working on this stuff for this poker run for tomorrow. She going to get home about maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. I told her, I said, call me when you're on the way home. I'll run you a bath. I'm going to run her a bath. And then that's going to be bedtime after that.
You put rose petals in the bath?
No, I'm going to semen the tub. That's going to be about it. I'm going to bubble bath, and I'm going to throw some children in there, and that's going to be about it. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, your skin looks great. Gosh. Gosh, you look so young.
Kim, I told you it was good for the skin.
Half her face gonna be paralyzed with goddamn children on it. I mean, Wow.
We have been going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Minus 2 bathroom breaks.
Mm-hmm. Finna take another one. God, dang. Oh, y'all killing me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who we have as a guest, we have Billy Allen. Welcome back, Billy.
Hi, man. I'm an idiot.
If you haven't been paying attention, this is Billy Allen in the studio.
Yeah, this is we're starting part 3, whatever.
This is definitely going to be a part. There's got to be a part 3, and nobody. I don't know if anybody.
4.
I don't know if anybody could. They may love this, but I don't know if they could stay awake for 3 hours of this.
I mean, they probably could.
Well,
I mean, it just depends on how much shit they own as to whether they could or not. But like, there's some gold in here.
yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
There is.
Gold in here.
It is.
And you've definitely made our job easy.
Well, I mean,
Kathy ain't saying shit.
I was just
I ain't
thinking,
saying either.
you ain't saying
Nobody
shit.
is.
I mean, yeah, that's the same thing. I was like,
Nobody has to.
I was taking the piss a minute ago. I'm like, I kind of feel bad. Ain't nobody saying nothing but me.
No, please continue.
Well, you don't
Not a
stop.
thing.
You don't stop, so we don't have to.
I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I apologize.
No.
You know what we need to do?
apologize
We need
for
to,
I hope you don't mind. all
Pygmies
the
in New Guinea or whatever the hell Larry the Cable Guy said. What it
Sit on a
was.
U-Haul.
Yeah, fuck them. Feed them fish heads.
I would love to see you and Steve-O on a podcast.
Steve O.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
yeah.
no. Steve O.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh,
Steve O. He's
Steve-O.
a little bit out there for me.
Oh,
Like he's got to do some extreme shit. Like I just say extreme shit. You got to have people that will say, like, did you watch what was it Bobby Lee and that other dude, the redheaded dude that he's on the podcast with? Watch some of that stuff.
I saw him in the Sebastian Bach one. That was pretty good.
Did you?
Yes, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like Bobby Lee's hilarious, but I mean, like he'll have you going like you think you might have offended him for some reason, and he'd just be pushing your ass along.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of
Okay.
like the way I am.
All right.
Like,
I
you know.
put Russ on the spot on his show.
You did.
So-
So I failed
What
miserably.
did you put him on the spot for?
All right. Well, I'm fixing to put you on the spot.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
put you on the
Uh-huh.
All
Good
right.
luck.
All right, Billy. Since this is a somewhat of a music podcast, somewhat.
Mm-hmm. I don't know shit about music.
Music related.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your top 5 guitar players.
Me.
Okay, that's one.
Me.
There's one.
Like it
I
so
don't know.
far.
I mean, like, I don't know what defines a good guitar player.
Well, no,
What do you like?
I agree with
Well,
that.
like, I mean, like I said, when I was young, like, I mean, I always wanted to like CC, you know, like I was enamored with CC.
was it
but-
the makeup?
Well, I mean, no, I mean, there was some
But you know-
guitar playing, and they're like,
Yeah, you know what?
Like-
CC, he does not get enough credit. I mean, he was a very good guitar player and played for the song perfectly.
well, you think like, I mean, like I listen to even now, and I mean, like I tried to take guitar lessons from Russ, who is an
What?
absolute dog shit teacher.
Yeah. Well,
Absolute
I wasn't
dog
taught
shit.
either.
Like I'm literally worse now than I was before I started trying to take lessons from Russ. But I'm like, he's like, man, if there's one lead you want to learn, what is it? I'm like, I want to learn CC DeVille's solo from Life Goes On.
Did I not learn it for you?
You did kind of, sort of, but still, you made me worse in the process, which I don't know if that speaks to your ability as a player or a teacher. But anyone, like, I feel like I should never have asked for it to begin with.
You know, talking about CC DeVille. All right, do y'all remember?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when CC DeVille left the band
Yes.
and they got Richie Kotzen?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
that I'm gonna tell you what, that album with Richie Kotzen was unbelievable.
Flesh and Blood.
It was so good.
Or no,
But-
it's Native Tongue.
Yep.
Man, I
Yes,
don't-
Native
It
Tongue.
was.
But
yeah,
I'll tell
Flesh
you
and
what.
Blood had CC on it.
But you know what? That as good as it was, that was not Poison anymore.
No.
It didn't even sound remotely like Poison.
Yeah. He's
And
right.
of course,
He's
Richie
right.
Kotzen got kicked off the bus for
Yeah, for
humping.
screwing.
But that
Yeah.
is that is
humping Ricky's old lady.
Yeah,
so that is proof that you don't have to have the best of the best players.
absolutely. Russ,
You got-
talk in your microphone.
I am.
Yeah, he's got it right in his
He's-
mouth.
He's
Okay.
got it.
Then I'll fix it in post.
He's licking it.
I am. And it's dry.
Lick it up. Sorry.
But no, but the thing is when you take that element away, it's like when Vince left Crew, it's almost like, okay,
But you know what? John Corabi was badass on
he
that
was, but it wasn't Crew. It
album.
wasn't
No,
Crew.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was badass. Just
It
like
was.
that Kotzen album with Poison.
Yeah, and Kotzen's a badass player
Yeah.
now as it is. I mean,
Yeah, it
like
is.
a lot of finger picking and
Note
things like
picking.
that. I mean, it's guitar for me. Like there are a lot of players who can really, really play and can maneuver their hands and do things with their fingers and get sounds that others can't. I mean, you know, you look at like Tom Morello. Tom Morello's one of those guys that's extremely creative. Brad Paisley, even Nuno. I mean,
Yeah.
there are so many phenomenal guitar players, but when I listen to a guitar player play, and this is where Russ McGuffey gets me right here.
Oh,
This is and I'm gonna get
Hurricane
I'm gonna get
has the
down.
most
I'm gonna
big
get
sound.
down in here.
Are you getting emotional?
Now, because I mean this is the really sexy.
Finally, somebody knows how to
Nobody's
use a
for it.
microphone.
So like for me, I want to know when a guitar player's playing that he's feeling what he's playing.
He's
Amen.
usually drunk.
He's usually drunk and his hair is generally
Only-
standing up.
Only
Yeah,
third
like-
past third sets.
Yeah.
Only.
like, you know, at
Oh,
this
that's
point,
it.
you realize, like, you know,
Not
your
back in
band
the
is
day.
your band is just, you know, it's fucking garbage at this point. That you're just, you know, you're out there by yourself and you're just shining bright like a diamond. That's Russell McGuffey, ladies and gentlemen. He's bright like a
Okay.
diamond.
Okay.
Russell McGuffey.
I don't know.
He's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you don't have a sequin jumpsuit that you're playing in.
Because I can't afford one. You just talked about this earlier.
We'll buy
Hey,
one.
Russ, I dare you to dress like Elvis.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sew the
I don't
sequins
do-
on yourself.
He's got to, but he's
I
gotta
will
have
do
a
it.
P. He's got to be pelvis.
Elvis.
He's got to be pelvis. He
yes.
can't be Elvis.
With
He's
the
got to
wig
be pelvis.
and sideburns.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, I will do all that. I don't care. I will do all. We kind of cut out the dress up thing,
Yeah.
but I would so go back to doing it in a minute just to be the goof because that's
But-
what I am as a goof.
But like for real though, I mean, you know, the people that when you play a guitar, you play an instrument of any kind, when I know that you're playing from your heart and what you're feeling, like that moves me, you know. And I mean, and you really move me.
So does
Generally towards the door, towards my car,
Good, I appreciate that.
you know, but I'm still moved
I'm
nonetheless.
glad I'm motivational.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus. All right. This is the best he's got. I'm going to go.
Yeah, yeah, I need to work on that.
All right, so you didn't give us more than 5.
Well, I mean,
You
I
just-
can't
you just
give
can't
you.
do it.
Well, I mean, I
You
can't.
named a few though.
Well, I mean, I named a couple. I mean, you got Cece and you got Russ.
Well, I
but
thought
that's
you
about
named
it.
yourself twice.
Well, I did name myself twice. But like, no, I really don't know shit about playing guitar. But I can't give you 5. I can give you instances where I felt like people played what they felt and was coming out of their heart versus what was recorded.
I get that.
And that's kind of where I am. I don't care. I mean, like there is a gem of a movie called Eddie and the Cruisers
Debbie Does Dallas.
2.
I like that one, kid.
Yeah.
Eddie and the Cruisers too.
Eddie and the Cruisers, not 1. Not 1. I mean, 1 was a great movie, but let's go to 2. Okay, if you've never seen Eddie and the Cruisers 2, there's a phenomenal scene in there. This guy is, he's trying to get in the recording studio and he's doing all of this phenomenal stuff. He's tapping and he's doing this, that, and the other with the guitar. And it's flashy and it's great. And Eddie looks at him. He's like, if I was in a bar and I heard you, I'd enjoy being there. But then I'd go home and I'd forget all about it.
Mhm.
And then he proceeds to play like the simplest of lead lines behind this backing track that they're going along with. And it's just, it stays with you. Like it sticks in your brain. So I kind of learned at that point that it's not necessarily all of the flash. It's all the flash for us guitar players.
Right.
When we see other people who can do something that's just absolutely phenomenal. But for the average brain or the people that are out there listening, the 95% of the people that don't give a shit
Yep.
play something that then they go home and they can kind of hum it in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's simple enough that they can just kind of go along with
well, like we were talking about, like way back, the 2 guys that straightened me out on that were Kirk Monaghan and Trevor.
it. Mm-hmm.
And I was that guy at one time that played all the leads right, and now, of course, I don't. But they were like, "Hey, you need to drop the guitar down and quit being this guitar nerd and start having a good time. And don't be pissed off if you miss a note. Just go ahead and do what you got to do and start entertaining everybody." And I started doing that. And so we were at Coshada Casino at one time or another, and I went up to Cheryl and I said, "I'm going to mess this up on purpose." I was doing Eruption. I said, "I'm going to mess it up on purpose and just to see if anybody sees what I do." And she was like, "Why would you do that?" I was like, "Because this is a test."
Right.
And it went over better than
Yeah.
doing it correctly.
Did you call it erection?
Yes, I did. 100%. It was very erect.
It's very hard to play, wasn't it?
Not the way I did it. I did what the hell I wanted to.
But
I did-
you felt it as well.
I did,
Yeah,
but I did.
felt it.
Well, here's the thing: is
Yeah.
I did it so
He got a great tip.
well.
Yeah.
The one thing that I am gifted with is I can play over stuff so fast that your brain probably cannot process it, neither can mine. So
Yeah.
that's a God thing. It's not a thing that I did on my own. It's just I happen to be very quick. And so if you do it and you play it off right, it's wonderful. Now, if I wanted to sit down and learn it right, I mean, you could do that too.
Sure.
But it's a waste of freaking time because I'm entertaining you and you and you and you and
Right.
you, and nobody gives a damn. They
Right.
don't. They don't
Mhm.
care. Only other guitar players do. Now, if I was in a Dream Theater cover band, I better get it right because there's
Right.
people out there doing this. Ha ha! He missed that note. We're gonna crucify him.
Yeah.
But they're not paying you shit either. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Right.
So entertainment's where it's at, and that's the bottom line. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, and that was one thing about Hurricane that I learned early on, that it was an extremely high entertainment factor
Mhm.
involved in it, and it made me want to be a part of that. Now, the band that I saddled myself with, Jesus,
Did you say settled?
Saddled.
Saddled.
as in
Saddled.
as in like
saddled.
As in that.
Yeah,
horse
as
and
them,
allergies.
Not settled, but
as in,
settled. Okay.
let them put the leather piece of shit on my back and sit on me. Yeah.
But you know what though? You keep doing what you're doing, and you will get to where you want to go. You just got to keep at it. That's the truth. You keep at it.
Well, I mean, that's all well and good, but what if you don't know where in the hell you want to go?
You will. I promise you, you'll
You'll
get there.
figure it out.
You keep trying. You can't quit.
I want to keep making these $150 a show.
You're not in it for
It's
the
not
money.
going to get better.
Dude,
It's not going to get any better until you play the casino.
I played the casino.
Yeah.
that still
That ain't worth the shit either.
No, look.
Because you know what?
No,
they
it's
write
not.
me the check and I get the damn
you get to
the
pay taxes on it.
1099.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured that shit out long ago.
Yeah. You know how well that went for me last year when we're like, hey guys, y'all owe me this much in taxes. Oh, well, shit.
Good
well,
luck.
I don't have
Yep.
that.
Good
You know,
luck.
Yep. The
sorry.
The first year that happened to me, I was like, oh, I better have your social. You out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's the music scene, obviously, it's a beautiful thing. It really, really is. It's a beautiful thing in certain aspects. It's a pain in the ass in others.
Yup.
If you don't enjoy doing it more than you don't, then you wouldn't do it to begin with. So I don't give a shit what you tell me one way or the other, how you love it, how you hate it, this, that, and the other. You love it more than you hate it. Otherwise, you would quit.
That's true.
You know, it used to be about the women
Yeah,
or
I
the
know.
drugs or the drugs. Or,
Well, I
or
mean-
free booze.
The thing about it is, my lovely wife
Yeah, you can't say
has
that
her
now.
medical card, so I don't need the music scene for the drugs,
Yeah, I know that.
and I don't need the music scene for the ass,
Yeah, I don't
because I
need-
got the
yeah,
drugs and the ass at the house.
Right,
So,
right, Kathy.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you want out of this whole crazy world other than get high and laid? And if you can do that at home, God damn,
It's much safer.
You don't need to lose. You don't need to leave the house.
you don't have to leave the house. It's absolutely
But we
perfect.
do it anyway.
It almost brings a tear to my eye if I could actually cry and mean it, but I can't. Can't do it. Can't do it.
So then, why do we do it?
I don't know. Why do you do it, Billy?
Music. Why do you do
The only reason I do music is because I want to play with Russ McGuffey. That's the only reason I do music.
I know that guy. I may can hook you up.
I bought a bass so I could play with Russ McGuffey.
Russ won't
Bought
let.
a bass so I could
I'll
play
play
with
the
Russ
I'll
McGuffey.
play the bass. Give me the bass.
I
Ru-
don't
give me the
wanna
bass.
bass.
I'll buy the bass.
You're a better guitar player than you are a bassist.
You
I
don't
think
know
you
that.
play
I've
bass.
never
Russ
played
won't
bass.
let me play. He won't let me play rhythm guitar with him because I'm old.
Not want to let. What the hell? That's like at 6 people. What am I going to 7, 8 piece? Y'all just all fucking come in.
Why not?
Just everybody join Hurricane. Come
It
on.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many Hurricane has in it.
Shuckers cannot hold no more than 6 on the stage. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. When y'all are playing, there ain't nobody on the floor in front of you, so a couple of us could stand out there in front.
You are correct. We have 0 crowd.
This is the difficult thing about playing music nowadays. I'll just be honest with you. There can be somebody up there on that stage playing shit as great as it can possibly be played, hitting it note for note,
And nobody gives a
doing
shit.
difficult
don't.
things. Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
And that's why I don't.
I thought when I saw like this is before Melissa and I started dating. This was at Pops, I believe, for
Oh.
Carrie Bell's birthday, or maybe. Anyway, Noise Pollution was playing. Hurricane opened for them.
I remember that.
Yeah. It was a really good show, and I mean, of course, from not knowing what's going on, if you look out from the floor at Pops to the stage at Pops, and you see what's going on, you're like, that is the best stage in the world. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
There's shit on both sides of it that's stacked up to the ceiling.
Right.
I mean, like, it's tall.
And the subs underneath the
Yeah,
stage. Holy
subs
cow.
underneath the stage. Like, you're like, this is the best place you could ever play in your entire life. I said, I want to make it one day where I can play this stage. And I finally one day played that stage. And when I finally stopped after the first set, it looked like the light cut off and the cockroaches just came out to the middle. Just
That was at like 12 p.m., right?
no. I don't know what time it was. It was like 10. I think you played like 10 to 4 or some weird shit at Pop. Like, I mean, it was, yeah, it's some weird ass kind of set. But anyway, I mean, like, you could be the baddest son of a bitch on the planet. And then as soon as you stopped, they like, oh, let's get out on the floor. And then as soon as you start back, it's like you turn a light back on and they scattered.
Yeah.
Well, so
Like, what the fuck?
so Kevin, when I brought up the deal about Cyrus way back, remember?
Yeah. oh,
Okay, so there's a video on YouTube of them playing the Armory,
Yeah.
and
That was a battle of the bands.
well, everybody was on the floor
Oh yeah.
for the musicians, and it ain't that way now.
No.
No.
Let me tell you something. I remember that. I was there, and we were like,
I was in diapers.
I was in a band called Rock Show back then, and we were past what we thought we needed to be in a battle of the bands. I mean, I don't mean we were cocky or anything. We just thought, why would we want to be in a battle of the bands?
Right.
And it's at the Armory, which I knew nothing about the Armory, but we were like, me and the singer Todd, we were like, let's go check it out. And we get there, and the fucking place is packed. I mean, I don't know how many people were there, but
Lots.
there was a lot of people
Yeah.
there. And if you look at the stage and then the people in front of the stage, it looked like being at the Coliseum, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did not play this,
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember right, a band called Luxray actually won it. Luxray has a couple of the local guys.
Really?
Dirt Deacons. A couple of those guys were in Luxray.
But one of the guys in Cyrus was in the Dirt Deacons too, right? No.
No.
You're right.
No.
No, that's correct. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Cyrus, no. And Cyrus put on a hell of a show too. And I mean, both those bands are great, but I mean, Luxray had a whole lot of their own people there too. I don't remember how it was judged. Who judged it? I don't know if it was crowd participation. I can barely say that word.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to our show.
But I think there's a reason for that though.
Yeah, this is podcast. STS. This
Shooting the shite. But anyway, a couple of the Dirt Deacons were in that band, and I believe it was Keith and Brad Chambly. I think those two were in a band called Luxray, and they did they kicked ass that night.
So I did not see any footage of them.
But they were really young at that time.
Mhm.
I mean, and I was young, but they were younger.
But Cyrus did really well.
Yeah, they
they
did.
come out doing Down Boys.
Yeah.
And they sounded really good.
Yeah, they were really good. They did. They put on a great show.
I love, you talk about down boys. I will say this, honestly.
Where are we going with this?
No. I'm just going to tell you, like, you don't have this issue necessarily, but my fucking band.
Which one are we talking about?
No,
Emergency
Emergency
Nine.
9, my band. Like Fuster Cluck, I mean, that's a side deal with Jack Plunkett, who is brilliant. Donnie Plunkett, who's a phenomenal guitar player. I mean, phenomenal bass player. He's a phenomenal guitar player too.
Cluck.
But I mean,
Could be a cluck.
that's just kind of like a novelty deal. But like Emergency 9 is that's my STD. Like that's what I have. Like that's mine. I own it. I ain't never fucking getting rid of it. I got to live with it from here on out. I get it. But these motherfuckers will text me a song, be like, yeah, let's do this one. This song will have 3 parts in it. There'll be harmonies and there'll be backup vocals and this, that, and the other.
But they
And
don't
again,
sing.
my
And keyboards.
motherfuckers have microphones solely to order drinks. That's it.
I need a beer. I need a beer. Can somebody bring me a beer?
Yeah. Or I mean, like this motherfucking song may be higher than Condor Vagina. Like, it'd be on up there. Like, let's do this one, bruh. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Why don't we? Why don't we do this one? You know, like, I don't think you motherfuckers realize what exactly goes in to the preparation for this kind of song. I mean, it may have a really cool groove or a pocket for a drum fill or this, that, and other. But let me tell you, if I'm singing high enough where my testicles touch my Adam's apple, fuck you. I ain't doing it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then turn around and sing another one right after that because y'all ain't gonna do shit to say, hey, can I get a vodka cranberry? Or Yancey be like, hey, can I get a margarita? Yancey be drinking that fruity ass shit, that frozen shit. I hope you hear me, Yancey J-Ro, you prick.
Is he going to watch?
He might, because he knows I'm on it. He a prick. You are a prick. And you have shitty stage presence.
You love him, though, don't you?
Just going to tell you, I love him to death.
Oh,
you got shitty stage presence and
I
you're a
love
prick.
Nancy. He's been here.
Has he been here?
Not
Not
for
on the podcast.
No, but
He been in the studio?
no, actually, he is not. Not since what I've done to the studio.
Okay. Yancey is the best, absolute best, worst guitar player ever.
Oh, Lord.
Worst guitar player ever. I love him like a brother who has Down syndrome.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He is terrible.
You know what's funny is like, all right, his last name's J-Ro, right? I mean,
Mhm.
how many freaking J-Ros can be around here, right?
Well, I know of 3 or 4
Play with
of
one,
them because
Kevin.
they've all been to our shows.
Well-
So, I mean, like, there's that many.
Back around 2000, I was in an original band, and the other guitar player in that band was Gerald J-Ro.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, I think Gerald, I want to say, is his uncle.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary is his dad. And then Chris is his brother. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I mean, again, they like crabs. They'll spread.
I mean, that's a Louisiana. That's a Louisiana name. It's gotta
It
be.
kind of is. I don't know if they're from Louisiana or what, but
Gerald was. He was from fucking Lafayette or something. Like
they're all very, very musical.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very musical. I mean, like Yancey, like I'm one of these people that, like, I can look at tabs, like guitar tabs, and I can be lost.
Oh,
Like, I
God.
don't know what in the shit I'm looking at.
That's too hard to put
Sorry.
together.
It is. It's
on the
like,
tab.
I mean, like,
No, it's
I
too
might
much
as well be
waste of
looking at
time.
like Chinese writing on stuff. Now Yancey can looking at and he'd be like, okay, this, and this, and this. Like he's got like a beautiful mind when it comes to that. But when it comes to rhythm, he is extremely white. Like, he has the worst rhythm of anybody you will ever see in your life.
Yancey's going to have to be tagged.
Like,
in this.
I got him in Fuster Cluck, and now Jack is brilliant. Jack Plunkett is a phenomenal guitar player, phenomenal drummer. He is just a musical mind. I think he is somewhere on the spectrum. I don't know where on the spectrum, but he is on the spectrum somewhere. And he is just absolutely brilliant. So he'll put click tracks and cues and all this shit together. And the funniest thing that you ever see in your life is Yancey J-Ro trying to play to a click track. I mean, it is like a blind man trying to race NASCAR. I mean, it really is. Like he can maneuver his fingers to do this, that, and the other, and do some shit that is just absolutely will blow your mind. But he can't do it in time. So
Hey,
I mean,
when you were like, all right, when you first started playing guitar, besides taking lessons from Russ.
Well, I mean, that wasn't when I was learning.
Well, how were you going about it? Was YouTube around at that time?
No. There was no YouTube. Like,
Right.
I had a couple of guys that were in high school with me that I say knew how to play guitar. They knew how to play guitar better than I did.
What high school?
Hillcrest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was Old McClure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was high school. That was, and
Yeah.
Matthew McAlilly was, and Matthew probably never watched anything like this, but Matthew he was a phenomenally gifted guitar player. He could do everything. Like, he could play bass. He could play like Shake Hands with Beef on bass. I mean, like, he was just a musical guy.
Shaking Beef?
It was Primus. Shake Hands with Beef.
Okay.
Listen to that when you go home.
First thing I'm going to do.
It was absolutely brutal how good he was on guitar. And another guy that used to play with us, Brent Lane, kind of knew a little bit about guitar, played old Fender Squire. That was kind of who I learned from a little bit. But that was kind of where I started. Now, I didn't know anything other than looking at basic chord diagrams and how to play G and C and D and F and all that kind of stuff. But I remember somebody had given me a little PV amp, and I was playing between Freebird and maybe Layla. And I could figure out how the progression went in some of those leads. And I realized that my ear was very good, but I had absolutely no idea
The translation.
nothing, how it worked. I could just know, like, I was going here and here and here and here, and this worked and this worked and this worked. And so to this day, that's kind of how I play. If I have to play what I would call a lead, I know how to make it sound really good for whatever chord and whatever, key the song is in. But I don't know what I'm playing.
Well,
I have no idea. And I don't know.
Theory wise, you mean you don't know what you're doing?
No, I have no idea.
Well, see, that's pretty common because nobody around here has ever taught any of us theory. There's not a lot of theory guitar players around.
Right.
I don't know where you could even find one.
Well, like, I tried to learn from Yancey. And I mean, again, Yancey is a phenomenal guitar player as far as being able to know what he's playing and how to determine if this makes this a minor scale versus a major scale, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this arpeggio and whatnot. I don't know none of that shit.
Major is happy, minor is sad.
Well, that's what it says. But you can also play a sad scale over a happy progression.
You can.
Yep.
You can. Doesn't necessarily mean
But-
it's going to be right.
Well, it doesn't, but I
Or
do.
sound right. I mean.
I can hear it to the point where I know, all right, I can be in this area of the neck on this chord, and then move up to this progression on this chord, and it'd be fine. But I don't know. I mean, I basically play the same thing over every song, no matter what it's in. It just
Same
depends
scale.
on the position on the neck. That's
It's
all.
the same scale.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very basic. I wish, beyond wish, that I knew how to play what I could hear in my head, but I can't.
Well, same thing here. I'm the same way too.
That's bullshit. That's
Okay.
bullshit, Russ. I mean, I've watched you play
Okay, so I did
tons and tons of
Okay,
times.
so here's the deal. I learned Overture 1928 by Dream Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gave a shit. There it is.
Nobody understands.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. All I know is that first run was it was an A scale with like 28 notes in it. Nobody cared. And there it is. But they love funky music, White Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they do love that type of thing. But I mean, but most people, again, it goes back to the Eddie and the Cruisers 2 type of thing, where you have to be dumb enough for people to be able to take it from seeing you to the house and still remember
So you
what they're listening to.
you want to be entertaining and a musician to a little bit of a higher level as well.
Yes, I'd love to be able to, again,
So-
be able to translate what I hear in my head to the guitar.
So where's that
But-
crossover on the stage?
Well,
Where's
the
it gonna-
crossover on the stage means that I know that I'm like a white boy trying to dunk a basketball. It ain't gonna happen.
Well, if you get a little trampoline in front of you,
Yeah, exactly. I have to do something.
Well, you're fairly tall. You're what, 6 what?
I'm 6 foot,
What?
maybe 6 foot. Yeah, it's about.
Damn, I must have shrunk to like 5'6".
I'm probably 5'11" and a half without my shoes on.
I feel like you're several inches taller than me.
Well, I mean, you shrunk. I mean, you're
Undoubtedly,
like
I
you're
have.
almost in
Kevin,
Medicare.
You're 90.
I was
Yeah,
six-
you're
I was
almost in
six-
Medicare
I was
range.
6 foot when I was playing baseball in college. Now I'm probably 5'9".
Yeah, exactly. Gravity has absolutely anal raped you.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
it
have
has.
been gang raped by Mother Nature and Father Time. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Well, just a
That's going to be edited.
warning to
I
you
can feel sure that's going to be edited.
no, I'll leave that in there.
No.
A piece of advice to y'all though: your time is coming.
Hey, look,
Right.
bad stuff's already hidden for
Definitely.
me. I get it.
I've already outlived where I thought I would be.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I have learned really quickly that Father Time has gotten me. When you had to put on reading glasses to watch porn on your phone,
No, you're doing
Yeah.
it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong.
I mean, I'm there. I'm like,
You cast that to the TV.
you know,
Yeah,
I was feeling good. I was feeling good. It started off with cell phones, with the screen was real small, to then it got big. That was the thing, and now it's gotten like smaller again. I'm like, shit. You know, now where am I at?
Are y'all gonna be able to hold this down if I go take a piss like with
Yeah.
5 Z's?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can make it without you, brother.
I don't
We
think you-
can't
I
make
don't
it
think
without you.
can. All right, I'll be back. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Oh my god. Shit.
Are you already done? Like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, there's no way you have a prostate issue if
That
you were
was-
that done that quickly.
Float
He
Max
went
is-
to sit down and it was like slow motion until the weight gravity got to a certain point,
Yanked him down in the chair.
and it just like you know.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I realized this like earlier today. Like, of course, my wife's been out of town for about 4 or 5 days. And so, like, I was trying to clean up and I was trying to do stuff. And so I was going to our bathroom and I was cleaning up the toilet seat.
You trying to
this, that, and
save
other.
your ass for
Like,
when she gets home.
I try as a male to not piss on the toilet seat, but I'm not going to go in there and I'm not going to pick the toilet seat up every time I want to take a piss. I mean,
You shake
my
it more than
aim is
twice
good
you're playing
enough.
with it.
Since
but-
my wife is listening, I do every time,
every time.
Every
I
time.
get it.
and I put it down
I get
every time.
yeah, sure you
But
do.
she never leaves it up for me.
I even got one of these nice ones that, like, when you put it down, like, it just kind of lets down real slow.
That's the way ours are.
Yeah, like, but
Well, you got a hydraulic
still-
pisser?
I still earlier cleaned it, and I'm like, I lifted it up. I'm like, God damn, how's there piss over here? Like, how do you piss on the underside of your seat? Like, I
Very
don't get it.
carefully.
Have you ever seen speaking of TikTok, have you ever seen the TikTok video where they give a water hose to a girl and they have a little bucket on the ground and they're like, all right, we want you to try and make this water go into the bucket. And somebody's over at the faucet, turning it on fast and then slow and then fast and slow and off and then back on. That shit's going everywhere.
You're right.
It takes practice,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It kind of reminds me of like my grandmother. I love my grandmother to absolute death, and she's passed away probably about 10 years ago now, but she told me a couple of the greatest jokes ever. And she was she was a huge reader. She was a speed reader. Most people, like at that point just didn't know what speed reading was, but she could take a 400 or 500 page book and read it in a day. It was no problem. So I asked her one day, I said, Granny, what are you reading? She said, well, I'm reading this Russian novel. I'm like, well, what's it called? She said, it's called The Passionate Russian. She said, it's by Nod Her Tits Off. That's
It's gotta be a
okay.
good book.
So, but she would tell me jokes every now and again, and
Now,
one was
you get this from.
one was the greatest joke ever. It was like, so there were these elementary school kids, these boys, and back then they had these glass Coke bottles. I'm sure you all remember glass Coke bottles. I do. I mean, I used to get them at the barber shop
Throw
all
them
the
at
time.
signs all the
Man, I
time.
used to collect them and take them back to get money for them.
Right. So they were great. So these boys, these elementary school boys, they had this glass Coke bottle, and they had it set up in this parking lot, and they would run across it, and they would squat down on it, and they would fart into it.
Hell yeah.
And so what they were trying to do is they were trying to blow it up.
You're turning Russ on.
Oh,
And so-
absolutely. What about
Anyway,
farting in a glass and saving it?
You'd have one guy, he'd run by, and he'd squat down on it, and he'd fart in it, and try to blow it up, nothing. The other one come by, try to fart in it, blow it up, nothing. So then this girl walks up and she says, what are y'all doing? And the guy says, well, we're trying to fart in this bottle and blow it up. And she says, you think I can try? And he's like, no, there's no way you can try this. So he runs across and he tries to blow it up, nothing. So she finally convinces him to let her have a try. So she runs across there and she squats down on it, farts in it, glass goes everywhere, blows it fucker wide open. One boy looks at the other one and says, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's a no fair. Double barrel.
Your granny told you that.
My grandmother told me this joke.
Double barrel.
Double barrel.
Double barrel.
Just blew it wide open. Double barrel.
Can't compete with
it
the
was just-
horsepower.
Yeah. Never. And then just the life lessons that I learned, I was probably about 11, probably maybe 12,
Now
She's-
we know why you are.
trying to tell me whenever you start playing with that thing, make sure you do it in the shower. Like, why? It's like, it goes down the drain. I mean, just an absolute brilliant woman. I had no idea until
She was
much
teaching you
later on in life.
life lessons.
This-
wasn't she?
She had it all figured out. Like, she knew exactly how to coach me along this life. And I was too dumb to see it at the time. But now, to this day, you get me near a good shower,
it's on.
it's on. Yeah, gotta have it. I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I don't jack off in the shower. I mean,
Hey, do you have to use an intruder?
no, the stranger, you just turn it over. And, it's like,
Stranger
yeah.
and intruder.
And like at this point, like
Hey, man,
I'm right-handed because
think-
again, I was so far. I've been left-handed for the last 18 years, 20, whatever. I mean,
Billy doesn't know about the intruder.
no.
Well, Kevin explained to him what the intruder
What is the intruder?
Basically, it's a vibrator that we renamed.
A
Off
vibrator.
of a band, actually.
I would be scared to use a vibrator in the shower.
Well, as long as it's not plugged in.
As long as they're not grounded.
Well, I mean, how's it going to vibrate if it's not plugged in?
Well, there's batteries.
Batteries, dude.
Well, I mean, that's still electric.
But you're not grounded,
Not
are
exactly.
you?
Yeah, you're not grounded.
Yeah, you're good.
I still feel
insulated.
scared. It's fine.
Oh,
there's
I mean,
six
it's
people
not
in here
giggling
telling me it's fine. I mean,
it's not going to be more,
evidently a tried and true method.
it's probably not going to be more than 9 volts.
What kind of podcast is this?
And you
Yeah, y'all
have you ever stuck your tongue to a 9 volt
this
battery?
is well, matter of
Test it?
fact, I have.
Yeah, I do it all the time. That's the best way to test it.
Good God.
That's 9 volts.
There's 6 people are, oh yeah, you could do this in the shower with batteries. It's fine.
And if it
You
uses
could use the car battery. It's all good. Yeah, there's no problem.
battery.
if it uses double
Jesus
A's,
Christ.
let's say it uses 2 double A's. All right, well each one's like 1.5 volts, so that's only 3 volts.
I used to make fun of my wife and be like, you got shit in here in this drawer with an exhaust pipe on it. I mean, like, fuck. This uses 2 cycle. What the fuck? She says, no, it's all USB. Sure it is. Wow.
So the vibrator is fuel injected.
It's fuel injected.
Okay.
There's no question. It's a
It's
a Vag 8. It's a V8.
Vag.
It's a V8.
It's a turbo.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah. You gotta, honey, could you pick up some exhaust fluid for me when you're at the gas station, please?
Need my oil changed.
Goddamn diesel.
Oh God, she's got a diesel vibrator.
That's as bad as having somebody. That's as bad as having somebody go and pick up some blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid. The fuck is that?
Have you not seen the O'Reilly's coupons?
Yeah.
Blinker
Coupons for
fluid.
some blinker fluid.
They don't have any blinker fluid, Dad. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's actually I've got it on my Facebook somewhere. There's a coupon for 50% off of some blinker fluid. You can print that shit out and give it to somebody around 16 years old, and they're gonna go in there and ask you for blinker fluid.
Oh God. I will say, like, I got to tell you, it's like, you know, luckily, like, my wife, God love her,
We all love her.
she gave me 3 wonderful, wonderful stepchildren, and one of them who is still living with us. Jesus Christ. I don't want to say Hannah's name, but I'm going to do it anyway.
What's her name?
Hannah. So I get a text the other morning. And when I say morning, I mean like 2:45 in the morning. Like my old ass is asleep. Like I've been asleep since 10 o'clock. But somehow I wake up. Thankfully, my prostate wakes me up about 3 o'clock every morning and says, hey, mother, we got to do something. So I wake up and I look at my phone just to see what time it is. And I see that she had FaceTimed me like 15 minutes before. She says, I've had an accident,
Oh no.
but I'm okay. I've blown out my tire, but I'm at so-and-so's house. I'm fine. So I text her back. I'm like, where's your car? You know, yeah. You okay? So she FaceTimes me back. It's like 3:15 in the morning. And she says, I've hit a curb and I've blown out one of my tires. I said, okay. And she said, I was going to turn around and I hit another curb and I blew out my other tire. I said, okay. Where's your vehicle? She said, oh, it's over here at Children's Hospital. It's in a side parking lot, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay. I said, let me get through with my work in the morning and I'll run over there and I'll take a look at it. So I do. I go to work and do payroll and do a bunch of other shit. I go to Children's Hospital. She dropped me a pin. This is how smart kids are nowadays. They dropped me a pin to where the car was. Not where she was. It was where the car was. So I get over there and I get to the car. And it's so much like somebody took a shotgun to both tires in the front of the car. So I have to jack up one side and put the donut on. And then I have to jack up the other side and leave the jack under it. So that there's not just wheel resting on the asphalt. It's 107 degrees while this is happening. So I get all this shit and I take the wheels and we get her and I take her to the damn tire shop, get 2 new tires, $351 for 2 new tires.
Mm.
I said, okay. She said, I don't know how this happened. Like, no shit. You don't know how it happened. So then she has a flashback while I'm under this vehicle on this 138 degree asphalt, jacking this stuff up. I mean, sweating like I done stole something. So I'm jacking this vehicle up and I get the first wheel put on. She says, oh, I remember now. I was throwing up when I hit this first curb. And let me tell you, Hannah, if you happen to see this, you deserve every bit of this. Every fucking bit of it. She said, I was throwing up in a bag. I done found a Walmart bag or some shit. I was just throwing up in it. And I was so upset when I hit the first curb, I was going to turn around. And then I was crying and I hit the other curb. Like, how the fuck you do that? You done hit one. How the fuck you hit another one on the other side?
Sounds like pinball.
Yeah. It's pretty damn stupid. So anyway, so I get over there and I put one whole new tire and wheel and shit on one. And I go over there and I get the other one. And I put the whole new wheel on the other one. $351. She says, thank you so much. It's like, I'll pay you back one day. I said, don't worry about it. I said, you'll have kids of your own one of these days. And she looked at me in the eye as sincere as she could. And she said, I hope not. And I kind of thought to myself, I hope not too. But I didn't want to tell her that. So my wife, God bless her, has given me experiences via her own hand or that of the hand of Jesus himself that I never thought I'd have.
Hey, do you think she would ever be on the podcast with you?
Yes.
She
would. She would.
What
She
about
would be
Melissa?
on, yeah, she'd be on the podcast. Yeah, they all would. And because they can't deny none of this shit.
I think we need to have her on too.
None of this shit.
We need to have Melissa on.
Oh, yeah, you need to have Melissa on. Melissa, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, even aside from me, Melissa's got more knowledge and more insight to, you know, the way things work around here and people and kind of the way the scene works and what customers want to see and, you know, what musicians want to see. She's very attuned to both sides of that. And that's, it takes a lot of brilliance to be in that regard. But I still think that she makes some really, really poor decisions.
And what
One of them is
marriage?
that right there. Babe, you are a dumbass. Miss Allen, you are a dumbass. I'll still give them shit every now and again. And people to say, oh, that's Melissa Kirksey. I'm like, huh? Who? Who's that? That's Melissa who? Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Melissa Allen. Yeah, Melissa Allen.
Mrs. Allen.
Mrs. Allen. You Miss Allen now, motherfucker. You done. You done. Yeah. God damn, mighty damn.
Oh, man. Does she work every Friday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday until
every Friday?
Labor Day. And then hopefully by Labor Day, she will have realized that she no longer needs to work. But
we need to schedule her. Let's get a date for her. to
yeah,
be on
you
here.
can get a date. That ain't no problem. You can get a fucking date.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Whatever the Friday after Labor Day is, you can have her ass then. Yeah.
We are going to set a date for Melissa.
Yeah.
Billy, you need to talk to her as soon as you get home.
Oh, I'll get her. She'll be home about midnight tonight.
Say, look, you got to be on this show. It is awesome.
Oh, I'll get her. That ain't no problem.
It doesn't get any better than this, especially when it's the Billy Allen show.
Oh, look, let me tell you something. When she's on here, it'll be totally different too.
Oh, I bet it
it'll
will.
it'll be bad.
You-
We
you're
might
gonna be
we might need to be divorced after that, but
You're going to be,
shit.
honey,
It'll be a great show.
honey.
You know, I hope our divorce can boost your ratings a little bit. But God damn,
We need to get, if we could just get anybody to like, subscribe.
like, subscribe, share, do whatever. I mean, everybody in this podcast and everybody in this environment works their ass off for your entertainment. If you were not entertained, fuck you.
All right, Kevin. We're pushing 3 hours.
I have nothing that the fucking world needs to hear, like at all.
I think there's a pretty cool dynamic going on here
I think so too.
with all three of y'all, and
But-
I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Ain't none of them said shit.
But-
Thank you all for tuning in. Don't know if you'll tune in ever again, but if you did this far, fuck you. Good night.
all right, Kathy,
STS.
say good night.
Good night. We've been recording for about 3 hours, so we have lots of material. So make sure you stay tuned so you can see all of the antics and the shenanigans of Billy Allen and Russ McGuffey
I didn't do shit today.
Evan Williams. We had a great time. All right, y'all. Ready to say good night?
Well, we got to do it in harmony.
Oh, gosh.
What's the key?
That's the thing.
What's the key?
What's the key?
We don't
It's
have
in-
the key.
It's an A. Everybody's A is different. That's not
Good
bad.
fucking night.
That sounded like Alice in Chains.
One of them's dead. He can't say shit no more.
Oh,
You have a
Jesus.
tuna?
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.